Good morning from the South Mountain Park here in Phoenix. Just waiting for the gate to open up at 5. I'm going to try to summit as many high points here as I can in the next 3 hours. I'm starting over on the west side with Maricopa Peak, and then I'll go over to Goat Hill and then just go from there depending on what time it is. I'm here at the Ranger Trail. I'm going to start off with Goat Hill first. So I'll take the Ranger Trail up to the National Trail, and then I think just go a little ways off trail to the summit of Goat Hill, which is up there. So I'm doing a combination of trail running and walking today. I just have a fanny pack and 2 water bottles, a bar, and my camera. That's it. I made it up to the end of the Ranger Trail and to the National Trail. So this will lead me pretty close to my destination, if not completely there. And that should be the Goat Hill summit right there. Here's looking east towards the highest point of the range. And I made it to the summit of Goat Hill. It was 28 minutes up, a little bit off trail at the end, although there are some used trails. I actually see one that goes to the west. I might just take that down a little bit because I can see the National Trail right down there. I'm gonna rest for a couple minutes and then get started down and try to head over to Maricopa Peak over there, which I think is even a longer off trail, but the trail goes at least up to the ridge. It's 5:43 a.m. Completely bright out, the sun has already risen. Beautiful. And here's the view of the Phoenix area. Lots of cholla on the back side of the range here. Pretty neat. I'm almost back to the intersection with the Ranger Trail. Well, I decided to go back to the car first. That way I can grab my hat and I'll drive up to the other parking lot and then go up to Maricopa Peak. So I'm almost at 3.7 miles. It's gonna be 3.7 miles by the time I get to the car. It's a deceptive distance-wise. All right, so I made it to the parking lot. This road is gated off, San Juan Road, but I parked and I have to walk about 7/10 of a mile to get to the Alta trailhead. Well, there's the summit of Maricopa Peak, and it looks like over here there is a little bit of a use trail, at least starting up to the ridge. I'm just gonna go that way. Try to stay on the rocks as much as I can. There is a use trail basically from the eastern point on the Alta Trail up the ridge up to here. I think I lost it a few times. There's basically a trail with a few little rock piles here and there too. So nice to have all this right in your backyard here. Sure beats driving 7 hours to get to Big Bend. Nothing major around here, no huge mountains, but still plenty of smaller mountains to choose from, and then not too far of a drive to get to at least some more substantial ones. So you can maybe see here there is kind of a use trail. This is pretty much what I've been following, so there is pretty much a trail to the summit. Like I said, it's marked with some rock piles in a few places here and there. But there's the actual trail, the Alta Trail, just right over on that slope. I'll have to climb back up a little bit. Run the ridge for a little while, and then it'll be all downhill from there pretty much. So there's the summit of Maricopa Peak. I think right there at the low point is where I left the Alta Trail and started up the use trail. I'm pretty sure it was there. So it was about 14 minutes down from the summit to there, 6 minutes across the ridge, and then another about 17 to 20 minutes or so down to here. All of it running from where I regained the Alta Trail back to here. So that was all trail run. That was pretty fun. Yeah, the trail, it's really nice actually. It's mostly like this the whole way up. There's a few rockier sections here and there, but it's mostly hard packed dirt and gravel. A really nice trail, really easy to run, especially on the way down. This is gonna be it for this morning. I'll try to do something light and easy with my son and maybe some of my other family tonight. Boy, I leave the quiet and peace of the mountains and I forget that it's only 10 after 8 right in the middle of rush hour right now. Thinking, man, these roads are busy, but it's still so early. But this is awesome, nice and bright. It's just at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's the way it should be. All right, I'm here at the South Mountains in Phoenix for day 2. A day removed from my first trip here, getting ready to do a few more of the high points up here. I'm gonna get started up the Holbert Trail, head up to Dobbins Lookout, and then to the high point of the range, which is Mount Suapoa. I may have that pronunciation wrong, but it's where all the towers are. I'll just get as high as I can. Here's downtown Phoenix in the early morning sunlight. And I don't know if this rock is named anything, but it kind of looks like a profile of a man. And that is probably Dobbins Lookout up there. There's downtown. I'm gonna go check out the building. What a beautiful morning here. Can't beat the weather in this area, definitely not. So there's Maricopa Peak. I did that on Tuesday, 2 days ago. And then in the foreground, right in the middle, is Goat Hill. That was on Tuesday, I did that too. I'm gonna get down back to the trail. I guess I could take the road too from here. And then just get up to the summit road and then just get up there as high as I can. That's the true high point of the range. I'm just back down on the Holbert Trail. And I have to cross over the road up here. And then the trail will hit the road again a little higher up, and I'll just take the road up as high as I can. I think the true summit is fenced off. I think that might be the true summit right there. That point. That does look a little bit higher than the rest of these over here. This is further back. I think that is the true summit. Mount Suapoa, or however you pronounce it, I'm not sure. I think this is the Gila Valley Overlook, or Gila Overlook. But I think this is the highest point that anyone can get to. So I've been walking up the road for at least a half a mile, jogging and walking. It would be nice if they would just leave access to the true summit somehow, just a little trail or whatever, and not necessarily build right on the true summit, which they really don't have to right here. You know, they could have just left that open and built that stuff a little lower. Well, looking back at the high point, and I came to this other high point further east. I don't know if it has a name. I'm gonna have to look at the map when I get back to the trailhead. I'm on the national, well, kind of off the national trail, but there's still a trail up to here. Yeah, that furthest point west is Mount Suapoa. This one's spelled Sapoa, so I have no idea how you pronounce it or what it is. And then I was kind of right around the Buena Vista Lookout where I did that other high point, which is over 2,500 feet, but it's not marked over there, but it looked like the highest point over there, and it probably was. This one, Dobbins Lookout / Mount Suapoa, is part of the Phoenix 7 Summits, I think. It's kind of a race they do every November. You summit all seven of these peaks in the city of Phoenix as fast as possible. I've done them all, but just not in a day. I can't remember which ones exactly they are though, because I've done some of the other peaks in the city too. Good afternoon from here at the South Mountains again. I'm finishing up with the named peaks here. I'm gonna head up to 2 peaks following the Mormon Trail, which heads up here. So it's about 107 right now. This shouldn't be too long of a hike though. I'm gonna take it easy, take my time, and just make sure I'm safe. I don't think I've ever hiked or worked out in weather this hot. I know when I was here last year, or the year before actually, I went hiking with my brother-in-law and nephews and sister. I think it was like 110 that day, but we started a little bit later, so it may have been cooler. It's a little bit after 4 o'clock now, so it's pretty warm and the sun's pretty intense still. Taking another little break here in the shade. It's a little windy, which is nice, cooling things off a bit. Not a cloud in the sky. And there's my destination, 2 peaks. So the one on the right, the westerly one, is the higher one. Well, there's 1 peak. And here are 2 peaks, the second one here. So this is the summit of 2 peaks here in the South Mountains. So I think I'm done with all the named summits here in the park over the past few days. I started down here at the Mormon Trailhead off of 24th Street. Hiked up the trail to kind of a level section in a wash, a little valley, and then just went off trail from there. So yeah, like I said, it's about 107, maybe even a little warmer or cooler now, depending on what the temperature did. Yesterday I did Hole in the Rock at the Papago Park, and then drove up to Shadow Mountain. My wife and son were in the car. My son was sleeping most of the time. I pushed it on both of those, especially on Shadow Mountain. Ran a lot of it. Kind of got a feel for how I would respond in the hot weather. I'm definitely feeling it. I still have to take it easy on the way down. I'm gonna get started back as soon as I'm done filming here. But that's good to finish up these summits and enjoy the views. Okay, so there's where I was just about 13 minutes ago, I think. The high point of 2 peaks, higher point, the one to the west. I'm at the first saddle that I came up over. I just have a little bit more ways to go back down, not too far. But yeah, looking out across Phoenix. Downtown, Piastawa Peak, Camelback, the airport, and then heading further east over to Tempe, we have the Arizona State area. So I'm back at the car, obviously the only one in the parking lot here. There was a guy leaving as I was just starting. I don't know what he did. I took 37 minutes on the way up and it was only like 1.13 miles, and I think about 20 or so minutes on the way down. So just really paced myself and took it easy, and no problems. The breeze definitely helps. So if it wasn't breezy at all, I probably would feel worse, but feeling pretty good right now. All right, well, that's it from the South Mountains again, and a hike of 2 peaks and all the rest of the peaks. Definitely a place to come check out if you're in the Phoenix area. Just be prepared if you are hiking in the heat. I knew this wasn't going to be a problem because I was just going to take it easy, but if you are going to go longer or more intense, just definitely start early.